This evening, bonanza for government employees. The cabinet has cleared the 7th Pay Commission's recommendations for a pay hike of over 4 million central government staff and over 5 million pensioners. Here are the key highlights of that. First, the salary hike will be in the range of 20 to 25%, and this will be enforced retrospectively from January this year. Now, the centre will have also the finance minister had provisioned, remember, for all right, let's take it straight to A.K. Mathur first. He's talking.
Working very hard with me, and they have done a good job. So the government has accepted the credit. Goes to not to me alone. It goes to all my members who were there with me, staff as well as my members.
Right, sir. So on the question of allowances, that's one aspect where the government feels the need to reconsider or at least revisit some of these issues here. In light of these announcements that were made today, the cumulative hike that you were looking at was 23.55. What's the figure that we're now looking at in light of the announcements that we've seen?
As I just now told you, that it's going to be 14%. 14.5, or say about round figure, it should be 15.
So on the issue of allowances, at this point, given the issues that are at play, we understand that the committee will be looking into all of these issues, entering into the domain of conjecture here, but what are the issues that you feel that the government will need to, in fact, deliberate upon while looking at these issues?
See, the amount of allowances which we have given is, of course, to increase to the extent of 10 to 20%. So the government can take a call on that if they find that the economy after the monsoon is not doing well, then they can come reduce it. And if they find the economy is going good, because the outer factor, as I told you, 1,02,100 crore is there. And at the moment, so far as the increase in the basic pay is concerned, that will only entail about 85 lakh or something of that. So that amount will be little less. But if the economy is doing well and the monsoon is very good, perhaps the government will be very happy to give them the entire allowances which we recommended to them.
Fair enough. So as always, every time when we see a pay commission, we have the same debate being considered, all sides being questioned about fiscal prudence versus, of course, the growth momentum that is expected. I'll take you first on the fiscal prudence side. That was, of course, the mandate that you had as well. Do you see pressures coming in? The finance minister, of course, has accounted for it, but has expressed that there will be a likely impact as far as fiscal discipline is concerned. So just your take, sir, as far as fiscal prudence is concerned.
Definitely, it will have an impact on that. No doubt about it. But we have been very moderate in that respect. So I think looking to the overall picture of the Indian economy, I think the hike which we are given, the government will be able to contain it.
So on the issue of inflation, of course, that's the other side of this debate, inflation as well as growth. Do you see growth momentum being perhaps pumped into the economy with the 7th Pay Commission? Do you see that translating these numbers that we're speaking of, translating into hardcore growth data as far as the ground zero is concerned?
Definitely, it's going to be there because more money, there will be a better purchasing power with the middle class people. And then naturally more people are opening to this purchasing capacity increases, market will open up. Then naturally, as I told you, that if a person could only afford to have 2 pants or 5 shirts in a year, but now with the money flowing in their hands, they can have 4 shirts and 4 pants like that. So it's bound to have effect on that.
So one last question, of course, this one with respect to some of the comments that you've made earlier about doing away with the pay commission system itself, that there is perhaps a need felt for an annual increase, an annual hike, which will be tempered, staggered, less pressure as far as the government balance sheets are concerned. A word on that with respect to doing away with the commission itself.
You see, what we have learned from the various world, pay structures from England, UK and other places. And we have also seen the Australia system also. What we found that they have permanent pay commission sort of thing. So they keep on factoring the inflation in the basic pay as inflation increases. So that the employees need not to wait for 10 years. They need not to get every time DA, etc. So that factor will be automatically factored in your pay structure. And they'll automatically increase it. So this will be a gradual raise in the pay structure. And the government at the end of 10 years, they will be certainly not burdened to the tune of lakh of crores. So that will be a suggestion which we are given to government. It will require a further study, and it will have a definitely, in our opinion, it will have far-reaching consequences.
Fair enough, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and for your time, sir.